Cheers.
How many pictures are on Yelp? You pull up all these pictures and you're like, oh, that's the dessert you're eating? All right, Michelle. That's the candle? Okay, that's the same candle. I know where you're at.
Dave, 45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes to an hour. Wait, can you run that long? No offense.
That's how I got married, dog. You know, my first date, bro.
Was that what you did?
Yeah, my first date with him.
I think a guy's more comfortable being alone than a girl, but I mean, that's a whole nother
think so?
subject. I think
First and foremost, thank you for listening to the Men Don't Know podcast. I'm the man of many friends, your host and creator, Chris Boone. And here on the podcast, we talk with a bunch of guys and we ask a bunch of women questions over wine and cocktails. Whether you listen to it on Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or you downloaded that Men Don't Know podcast app, I can't thank y'all enough. Merch stores open as always, but hit me up on Instagram at Men Don't Know, Twitter at Men Don't Know 1. Shoot me an email, Chris at mendontknow.com, or hop on the mendontknow.com website and shoot me a message. And we are back, and time to get back into that conversation we were talking about of how long do you really think it takes for you to know somebody? You said a year. Well, it depends. Well, no, you said in your situation was a year, but then you say, do you really know somebody because of all the horror stories we've heard and going back and forth? And my thing with do you really know someone is I'm the guy that I have no problems making. If I want to know something or if I want to know somebody, I have no problems flying her out. I have no problem flying her out. I have no problem saying, let's take a trip somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because of the fact I feel like I can get to know more of you out of your element than I can when you're in your element. Because of the fact that what you rely on, it's kind of like talking to someone on the phone and talking to, like the elements are so different. Text message, anybody can be suave on the text message.
Oh, for sure.
They can be the perfect person on a text message. Even on the phone, not being present, he could utilize.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Versus being in person on a date, he probably 100%. Doesn't know what to do with his hands, type of thing, And I'm just saying, so that's why I say, how, and you always say, it's about the quality of time.
For sure.
That's why I'm like, I mean, we've seen the wildest things. I've seen, some of my friends have the most successful relationships and get engaged under a year.
Yeah.
And happiness all the way through.
I think the older you get, the more plausible that becomes.
Why?
Like it being quick like that. I think you know who you are and you're more comfortable with who you are. So it's a little bit easier to be who you are out the gate. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think it's a little bit easier and you know what you want and what you're looking for. When you're younger, you're still kind of figuring that stuff out. So you take smaller steps, I think, and it takes longer and you're growing and changing a lot. And when you become a lot older, or not a lot older, but older, you kind of know already, like, oh, I've done that, so I don't want to do that again. And you know what you want. And when you find what you want, you just do it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. But I think at the same time, I feel like the same person, you're not the same person at 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s.
No, I think you change every 5 to 7 years.
Okay, but now let me ask you this. How do you keep that? That's the sustainability and how does that relationship keep growing?
That's a question for my parents.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's hold on to that one.
100%. I mean, because,
I don't know. I failed at it, so I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think, and I think I'm the reason why I'm a wedding photographer because I'm a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
I love to see love, but I don't know if I can comprehend that into a solid, I think I'm sure I could.
Yeah.
But I think because of all of my jobs and the things that I do will take can we say more exotic or higher caliber or different caliber of woman to be able to come into my situation and grow with it.
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean,
I get that.
I don't even know how to put that. Like everybody asks me, and I know I see my mom when she's just waiting for the day.
Oh my God. We all are though, really.
I know. And I'm like, look, I'm not going to lie, standards are at all time high.
They should be.
And
everybody should be.
Yeah, but I'm okay. But see, this is the thing too. And I'm okay walking away.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if that's the most dangerous part about me.
I think that's an attraction.
I
think that women are attracted to that.
That I have no problems of saying, you know what, this is not working. I can
make him stay.
Do you think women really say that?
Oh my God, are you kidding? 100%. They want it. Every girl wants to settle down. Every girl wants to settle you down. Your type.
Okay, let me ask you.
It's like a prize to be won.
Really?
I settled down the dude that wouldn't settle down.
Yeah.
I locked down the dude that would not be locked down.
Yeah.
It's the bad boy.
You roped the bull.
It's the bad boy.
You roped the bull. You roped the villain.
Yeah.
Because you know he will sacrifice the world for you.
Yeah. But maybe if you're the one.
Yeah.
That's a risk.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I look at everything and like coming into this year and I'm watching situations and I also hear about situations unfold. And I mean, like I said, everybody's getting to watch everybody is, I wonder how this summer is really going to play out.
I don't know.
Holidays are over.
Yeah. We can backtrack a little bit for a second. A guy that I dated 10 plus years ago, before my long relationship, we dated, we were young, we had a great time. We ended up becoming very good friends.
Yeah.
Always kind of had the what if together.
Yeah.
Honestly, in my head, I always thought that if my ex and I didn't work out, I thought I would end up with this guy.
Yeah.
And we're still very good friends. It's never going to happen. I'm in a very good relationship, happy relationship now, would never even consider it. But we had a conversation before I was dating my boyfriend now about because we were hanging out, spending time together, would this ever work?
Yeah.
And he's much like you. He's kind of like, he's the bachelor. Yeah. And everyone's always like, he's going to be forever single. He's not going to settle down. Yeah. So one night he's like, let's give this a real shot, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, are you capable of that? And he's like, everyone I date, I always compare to you, and you're always going to be the one that got away. All of these things, he says all the right things.
Yeah, 100%.
But he's like, but here's the thing. He's like, if somebody asks me right now, who do I want to spend the next 24 hours with, and I know that I will have the best time of my life. He's like, it's you. It will always be you. We have the most fun together. We get along. We laugh. We are attracted to each other. It's all there. He's like, but I don't know how to turn that 12 hours into 12 years. He's like, I feel him. I can't wrap my head around that.
Do you think, and this is, and you know why? Because I feel like you said, all women want to settle down.
Of course. For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. I feel like all women want to settle down.
Yeah.
With that right person.
Sure.
Do you think it's us as men not knowing how to turn that 24 hours into 24 years?
Yeah.
Why?
But you will. Here's the thing, you will. At some point, and that's what we're all waiting for, right?
Yeah.
I want to be the one that you turned that into 24 years for. And clearly, he thinks it's me, but it's not, because we didn't.
Yeah, 100%.
We didn't. We are meant to have been friends.
Yeah.
And he would give me the shirt off his back tomorrow.
100%.
He's an amazing human, but he didn't change for me. As much as he says that he wants to, he doesn't. So it's not me. Yeah. But maybe it is somebody else.
Yeah. I don't always wonder,
maybe some aren't capable, period.
I don't know. I know some women that are totally unhappy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's because the person they thought was going to turn the 24 hours into 24 years stayed that person. Like my question to you is, let me ask you this. And I guess you can't even. I don't know if you can even answer that. So I don't know if I want to even ask you this question.
We can try. We can dissect it.
I mean, it's just like, what do you think people like? What is that one thing that people are missing? Like, do you think it's complete and total honesty, or is it like, or it's like my question is like, does she have the password to your phone? That's how I know if it's serious. I'm not saying she has to have it.
Really?
I'm not saying she has to have it, but I mean, it shouldn't even bat an eye.
No, it shouldn't be. So I'm weird about this because I'm of the mind of like, I will never go through your phone. If I feel like I have to, then I don't want to be with you.
100%.
But I'm like, if my phone is sitting across the room and I need something out of it, or there's like something, I get a text message or whatever, and it's next to my boyfriend, I'll be like, hey, can you let me know what that says?
Yeah.
Because I don't care. I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
So I think like that's the difference, is not so much of us being, okay, here's my phone, go through it.
No.
As much as it is like, do you trust?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of relationships don't have that.
Like the location thing that kills me. I would never.
I have no problems doing the location thing, because my biggest fear is something happening.
I'm in agreement on that. So like there's been times where I'm like, hey, I'm at the airport, I'm Ubering to where you're at. Here's my location.
Yeah.
And if it stays on, it stays on. Or if it's for an hour, it's for an hour, whatever.
Yeah.
But like
I need to know. Yeah.
No, and that, in my mind, that nothing of good ever comes of that. You will drive yourself crazy at some point, because if I don't answer my phone for 3 hours because I'm running errands and I'm genuinely not doing anything wrong, or I'm busy, or I'm talking on the phone to my mom, and you see that I said I was going to Albertsons and then Home Goods and then Petco, and I make another stop in there somewhere because I decide that I need Del Taco too. And you see that I stopped somewhere where I said I wasn't, and you're like, well, and she's not answering the phone. Now she's at an address that I don't recognize. Like, why even open that can of worms? Yeah. And given you can be like, hey, I saw you were here, and there's an explanation for it, but like, I don't even want to invite those thoughts. I know I would do it. And I trust my boyfriend. We live 1,200 miles apart. I have nothing but trust for the guy.
Yeah, 100%. But I feel, and that's why I feel like those two, a long distance relationship will outweigh any relationship right now that is like together. I feel like, do you want to know why? Trust. It's all built on that is a foundation.
Well, he knows I'm here right now. Yeah. I am at your house. Yeah. I am at Chris's house. One-on-one with another man. Yeah. My phone's rang twice. Yeah. He told me about dinner. Yeah. He's not asking me what I'm doing. Called me, texted me, asked for a photo. Like,
yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, but
he doesn't know you.
I think, but he knows so much about me.
Still, think about it.
Yeah, true. It's the 100%. I guess that's what I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's
are we getting into trust issues? Do you have some trust issues?
I don't have trust issues. I'm the last person that should ever have trust issues. Being, building what I'm building and creating and going through, I cannot have trust issues. I have to have unbelievably blind faith and trust. I have to let you make the mistake. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think I have the time to lie.
It's exhausting.
I think that's the problem right there. I think people have the time to lie.
That's interesting.
Think about it. Hear me out. If you have a person that is busy doesn't have the time to lie.
That's very true.
Because he or she is focused on so many things. I don't even have time to conjure up something that would make sense because I'm so focused on the growth and well-being for us.
Yeah, that's true.
I think,
and also people that are busy. When you're going to cheat?
Yeah,
like when are you going to do something else? Because there's not enough hours in the day.
There's not enough hours in a day, and the time I do want to do something, I'm trying to plan it with you.
Yeah.
And
that's
yeah,
God.
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, trust me, trust me when I tell you, like, and it's funny, I don't want to say I'm a creature of habit, but I'm pretty much a creature of habit because of, you notice you do the same things that are because of the fact that you're trying to learn different things. Mm-hmm. And while you're learning different things, it'd be crazy for you to change up your routine because it involves you having to learn and remember and do something else. But if you're a creature of habit while you're learning something, everything else stays the same. The only thing you're gaining is knowledge because it's like I always tell people, like, you can tell why the millionaire and billionaire wears the same black blue jeans and black t-shirt, white sneakers. He has a closet full. That's one less thing he has to think about. Mm-hmm. What is he going to wear? Doesn't matter. He's wearing the same fucking thing every day. Mm-hmm. You always see, like they say, the accountants, the yada yada yada, the people that are successful, they have the routine. It's the same thing. They eat the same thing. Like, they do the same thing.
Yep.
Your boyfriend, he probably is up at the same time, working out at the same time. His day doesn't deviate too much.
No.
Except for
his kid.
His kid,
like,
and his job, and him growing business.
Yeah.
That's because he's trying to elevate that. Other than that, I tell people, like, ladies, men are like dogs. We can eat the same thing for 2 weeks straight. And that'll probably drive y'all crazy, but that just to let you know we're a creature of habit. Mm-hmm. And I think that is the misconception sometimes with men and women thinking about men. We're naturally a creature of habit.
Sure.
You know what we like to do. You know what we like to eat. We can trust me when I tell you, we can have 3 things for the rest of our lives. No problem.
Oh, men are simple creatures.
I just think sometimes women overcomplicate it, and 2, men, I'll say they portray who they really aren't to get a woman that they think they really want. But in essence, that's nothing of what they want. And women try to get the man that they think they want, change him into someone who he's never going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's why the relationships don't work. I don't think people are honest with each other.
I don't disagree with that.
I
think so. Dating's tough, right? Because when you're newly dating somebody, you're always putting your best foot forward.
100%.
Even if you're not necessarily being untruthful or dishonest. So where do you draw that line of like it's like the pictures you post of yourself on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I think I'm a decent example of somebody who looks like my photos.
100%.
But I don't post bad photos of myself either.
No, but they're more or less hilarious. So I don't want to say it, but like, this is the thing.
You know what I'm saying though with that is like, okay, you're always gonna put the front on of the best. You're gonna look your best. You're gonna always put your best foot forward. And so I think people take that too far a lot of times. Yeah. And I think it becomes dishonest at some point because you're like, okay, like maybe you say that you enjoy doing an activity, like you might like to hike.
Yeah.
But then you meet a girl that like loves to hike and you're like, well, I like it. So like, yeah, I love it too. And then that becomes an issue eventually because she's like, let's go hiking. It's Sunday at 9 a.m. And you're like, no, it's football.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to sit on the couch. And then she's like, but you loved hiking in the beginning.
Yeah. No, I dated a girl 2 years. Took me out to deep waters, basically. and it was like, I feel like men, we're so fucking stupid. Like,
you guys are so dumb.
I'll say it's so fucking stupid. Y'all like, oh, you want another? Yeah. I mean, I'm at the gym. My incline's at 11. You know,
you think one thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Let's do it. Gassing out. She's taking me on all these different hikes and stuff like that because that's generally what she likes to do. So I had to incorporate it. Great time. Learned a lot about myself. Season, reason, not a lifetime. But
learned a lot about myself. Like I fucking hate hiking.
I don't want to say that, but I mean, she did. I will tell you this, and I know this about myself. I genuinely. I don't even know
I love where this is going right now. I'm very excited about it. Finish the sentence.
I feel like, you know what I've learned, and I'll finish the sentence, but I've learned that people know enough about me but know nothing about me at all. I will say that, but I'll say this. I genuinely date a woman that's going to keep me in shape. I will 1000%. And it's not even naturally what I'm thinking about, but it's naturally what happens. It doesn't matter. Like, I think about the last, like, I'd say six women I've dated. 5 of them were like actively like marathon, like trainer, like core class, like circuit trainers, like, and like, I'm like, how did this even fucking happen? Like, I'm not, by all means, I'm in the gym, but I'm not like, there is a level of commitment.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it definitely is a lifestyle. And I guess over, mind you, over the years, that level has increased because I become more of a creature of habit, and Jim has become in that creature of habit lane. But I was just, and of course, Mom's is meeting all of them, and she's the one that pointed out, like, it's not going to work out. How you even know? She, let me explain something to you. Your longer relationships were X, Y, and Z. And this is why that you need, I guess people know, and, you always want to go exotic and dabble a little bit and this and third. But like you said, like, I guarantee you, a lot of men are like, oh, nah, she's hot. Okay, that's cool. But are y'all like-minded? Are y'all doing the same thing?
Yeah.
The hardest part is for an entrepreneur to date a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur, 24/7, 365.
100%.
The 9-to-5, well, I'm off at 5.
Yep.
If you guys aren't going to champion one another and build each other, why do you think that's going to work?
I mean, because I think when you start dating and it's fun and you have enough in common.
Yeah.
But I think people...
Is that the problem right there?
You have enough?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people fail to talk about the important things, and like then you're in it for a while. You're with somebody. Okay, you date somebody for 2 years.
Yeah.
And you're dating and you're having fun and you have a lot in we'll say a lot in common.
Yeah.
Music and the things you enjoy doing, and like you want to talk about kids and marriage, and like that's fine. But then if you don't talk about those core things, then values. You're together 2 years and then you're in it.
Fuck.
So you just stay.
I mean,
because you love that person.
I think, and that's a misconception, loving and in love.
Oh, 100%. I mean, we've talked about this before. That's the one I can speak to. Like,
I think people stay because of the love of someone, not because they're in love with someone.
You don't want to hurt somebody you love. You love that person. You've invested in that person. But let me ask you this. Time is an investment.
Time is the only true investment. You said you don't want to hurt somebody because you love that person, but aren't you ultimately hurting yourself?
Yeah.
And shouldn't you love yourself?
And you're ultimately hurting that person by staying longer.
Yeah.
Because you're holding them back from something better.
Then let me ask you this. Why don't you think we want to why do you think I guess, it's always the idea of wanting something better. Is some people's reasoning for why relationships don't work.
Oh, that's real. Yeah, I think.
So at that point, let me ask you this then. Where does that line get drawn? You see what I'm saying? Like,
I'll tell you this. Yeah. I can't think of anything better than what I have now.
Why is that? Boxes are checked?
Boxes are checked. And then, my boyfriend now was everything that I had wanted, as if I wrote down on paper, which I have.
Yeah.
These are the qualities that are 100%. If these do not exist in this person, we cannot be together. And then, there's some that are like, I would prefer this.
Yeah.
Damn. And then there's the do nots. Absolutely not. If this is a thing, then we'll never work out. We'll never be together. So he fits all of that. And then what I didn't even know I needed.
Damn. Okay. That's the thing right there. He gave you the thing that you did not know you needed. Was that key?
Maybe.
I think because
I've never really thought about it.
I mean, always, that maybe that's the question that needs to be asked instead of all these other questions.
Yeah.
Are they fulfilling a part of your life that you did not know you needed to be filled?
Possibly.
I mean, I never thought about that, and maybe.
Yeah, like everything I could have wanted, and then what I didn't know that I needed is how I would describe. It was how I would describe him. Like what he's brought to my life and the changes that have happened since we've been together.
Yeah,
I'm like, I didn't know I needed this, but I did.
So now let me ask you this. What do you say to your friends that you are looking at them in a miserable relationship? Like, knowing what you have, like, what do you say? Because I always, my biggest question to, I've fucking million questions for your parents. But I always ask the couples that, you're always, you're at the wedding and they do the dance. Mm-hmm. And that dancing, because they have the bride and groom, they do their first dance. Mm-hmm. And then they want all the married couples to come up to join them. Yeah. And then they say, if you've been married for 5 years, still stay on the dance floor.
Yeah.
If you've been married for 10 years, stay on the dance floor. And people start trickling off, whether it's newly married and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Then they say people that's been married 15, and you're like, they're still quite, And one time I see it is like if people have been married 25 years, and it was like three couples left. Goes, been married 35 years. And I'm like, there's 3 couples left still. I'm like, everybody's kind of like looking around, like, because then it shows, and I think it's a very good thing that happens because it shows it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
And then it goes like 36 and one drops off, 37, there's still 2, and then it goes 38 and the other drops off. And then, they clap it up, and then, the couple that's still on there, and it's like 39 years, you go up and you give that speech, mm-hmm. and it's like, give them that advice because anybody wants that advice.
Everybody wants that advice.
And I sit back and I'm like, fuck. Like, what do you tell the people that are in that situation where it's like, I know, like you said, he checks all my boxes and the boxes that I never knew I needed to have checked. Mm-hmm. I'm watching you be miserable. What do you tell them?
So first of all, they have to be ready. I will never go after somebody's relationship until they come to me and they're like, hey, I'm unhappy. Can you never unsolicited advice in these situations ever because it never goes well. You can't, and until somebody's ready to make that step, you can't. You can't make them. You can't. I think for me, I'm just because honest about it. Is I'm like, look, here's where I was when I was in a 9-year relationship.
Yeah,
and this is how I felt in that relationship, and not that it was terrible, but I was unhappy. And this is why I was unhappy, and this is what was going on, and this is why I stayed. And these are the feelings that I went through as I felt like we had already been together for so long and I couldn't throw that time away. And I had already spent my 20s with him and that was time invested, and I loved him and I cared about him and I didn't want to hurt him, and I loved his family and my family loves him, and we've already intermeshed all of our friends and we have a life together, and that is terrifying to leave. It is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
But then I did, and I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, and now I have my current boyfriend, and this is how I feel about that. And that's all I can do is I can say, look, it exists, it's there. Yeah. Like, and if somebody had told me when I was at the end of my relationship and in my breakup and been like, this is what's coming for you, I'd be like, okay. I thought, I thought this was it, and it's not. So like, it's really hard to all you can do is be honest with people and tell them where you were and what you've been through and what you have now. That's all I can do, truly. And just,
you think you found your soulmate?
That's a big question.
100%.
I think he's my person.
Damn, that's good to say though.
See, I have the soulmate thing.
Yeah.
I think you have different soulmates for different pieces of your life. Right. I think friends are soulmates. I think dogs are soulmates. I think
too. No. So, I do. But I'm talking about your person to be on that dance floor to say 40, 45, 50.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you think that's the person?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that. Like fuck. Like that. You know when you.
And I knew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I say it. Like when you like, and like because of the relationships you've been in and the long the almost a decade, you can sit back and say like, nah, I thought I knew, and when you're not happy, it's okay to pick up and go.
Yeah. And I will never discount how hard and sad and scary more than anything. Yeah. I mean, 10 years, I built a life with somebody, and we weren't married, but we owned a home and we had the dogs, and we were married without the license.
The license, 100%.
We had our future. My entire future was my entire life crumbled. Yeah. I didn't know where I was going the next week.
Yeah.
When I went from knowing I was going to marry this guy, I was going to have kids, I was going to move here, I was going to do this was where I was going to be, I was going to live there, I was going to work here, and then over. In a day. And you have that conversation and it's done, and now you don't know where your life is going. You don't know if you're going to get married. You don't know if you're going to have kids. You don't know if you're going to live in the same place. You don't know.
But you were able to get you were able to get up and go. And I feel like the reason why we're just talking and spitballing and having this conversation, because it's a new year. It's like the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's a lot of people that, quote unquote, don't know whether, this is, for season reason, but they definitely know it's not for a lifetime.
If you don't know, if you're questioning it, and I'm not saying you don't have times in your relationship where you question each other, you question, but I'm
relationships
saying,
are working in.
But if you are genuinely taking a step back and this has been something you've been sitting on, you've been thinking about, and you're not feeling right about it, and and you're questioning it, then you shouldn't be there.
Yeah. Because
you would step back and question it and go, the question wouldn't be, is this the right thing? It's, how am I going to fix this? Or is this the right thing? Of course it's the right thing. What can I do to make it better?
Yeah.
And that's the difference in what you're questioning. Or you're questioning, did I do something?
Yeah.
Is there something I can do better to fix this? Yeah. Or is there something that I'm missing? Or, you know what I mean? Like the questions that you ask when you take a step out of a relationship that you want to be in forever are different than the questions that you ask yourself when you 100%. Step out of a relationship you don't think you're going to be in forever. Yeah. Or that you think you're stuck in forever.
Yeah. Do you think when people get out of those relationships, everything falls together?
Sometimes you fall into another one that sucks.
But
sometimes, look, I think it takes it and everyone's path is so different. Mm-hmm. It was a year for me, really. Like when I found somebody, and I think that's probably pretty quick, all things considered.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say, yeah, you're gonna end your relationship with Johnny and you're gonna meet your soulmate right away. Yeah. You're gonna go through some shit. I went through some shit. I went through a lot of shit really fast.
Do you think? I personally think men stay because it's just like I'm not trying to do all this shit.
It's convenient.
I think women stay because it looks good.
Yeah, that was
optics.
For me, that was perception. Another one for me too. Is I was like, this is embarrassing. I failed at what I told we've been together 9 years, almost 10, and I've been telling everyone that we're in love and we're gonna get married, and we had the matching Christmas pajamas and the dogs and the life and we were the Instagram couple. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
And then I'm like, wow, this is gonna come to an end, and that like everyone's gonna know that I failed. And
isn't failure part of life?
It is part of life, but nobody likes it.
But why don't people be accepting of it? You tried.
You do. You get there.
What's wrong with trying?
You still failed. Well, it still hurts.
A lot of things gonna hurt.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing with you in the slightest, but like you got to get over that little bit of an ego take and people don't care. That's the other thing, is you recognize that is like I look back now and I'm like, nobody cared that we broke up. Like my friends cared about me and cared about the situation, and I'm sure there were people that were like, "What's going on?" Because it's interesting.
Yeah, 100%. I've been invested in your life for the last 9 years because you've been posting it on Instagram.
Yeah,
I need to know a breakdown of what happened. You need to go on a live and thoroughly explain the whole situation while I'm drinking a glass of wine.
Yeah. So I get that, and I knew that would be a thing, and I was like, "Gosh, when we broke up." I avoided social situations for like I would go out with you guys because you guys knew the situation, and
but I didn't,
we would go out with people who didn't know who I was, and that was all I needed. I never wanted to go to, for example, like a baby shower, and I'd show up and they'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry," or people that didn't know yet. That was my biggest one, was people that didn't know yet, because I wasn't super public. Like I didn't announce we broke up. It just people figured it out eventually because things weren't normal, obviously, and I was clearly single. Like the things I was doing was different. But I remember it was a baby shower, and I was like, I can't go. I can't do this because there are people there that don't know yet, and they're going to come up to me and they're going to say, "Hey, Madison, how's John doing?" Yeah. And I have to say, well, John and I aren't together anymore. Yeah. That's not his name, by the way.
Everybody knows that.
just throwing it out there.
Come on. But it's just like,
in case anyone's invested in the story.
And I think that's why I always try to tell people, like, keep your relationship offline. It'll last longer.
I think, but then at the same time, you do have that little bit of need to publicize it. Like, don't you think? No, people in this day and age, do. For me, it's because I'm like, I'm happy.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, it's catch-22. I really don't care to, but I'm more than, if that's her thing, cool, let's do it. And you know what? I was early on in my life, I was very neglective. I'm like, nah, like I don't like the more people that know it, the more people sabotage it.
I agree with that, but then at the same time, I like.
Do you think that you should only hang out with couples, or can you hang out with single? Like, do you feel like single people are Captain Destructo to couples relationships?
No, I think you can hang out with single people. I think you have to draw that line, though. You have to know your friends that are respectful of that. I think, when I was single, I still hung out with my friends that were married and engaged and boyfriends. And when I was in a relationship, I was still hanging out. I still hang out with my single friends. I'm the best wingman. Yeah. Honestly, when you're single, the best friend to hang out with is the friend that's in a relationship, because they're just there to support you.
Yeah, I literally, I think it's me, Coy. Me.
You, Coy.
Coy.
You.
Coy. I think that's it. Like, seriously, you know what? But, I value I value never settling. I value like this is where my life is headed. Like I know, and this is why I tell people, I'm like, Doc, sometimes there's a chapter in your life that you're supposed to walk alone. That way, maybe you don't bring all the baggage from your last relationship into your new relationship, what makes it a short trip.
Something my boyfriend said to me when it was, everything happened so fast, and we were both like, this is just crazy. Like,
oh yeah.
Because the long distance thing, we didn't feel like we didn't know each other. We hadn't spent that much time together, and like, but it just felt right, and it was meant to be. And like, he was like, I've had an idea of where my life is going. Yeah. He's 39.
Yeah.
He's like, I know what.
Yeah, we're the same age.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
He's like, I've done this with business. I've done that. I'm building this. I'm doing that. I've done that. I have this, and I know this is what I want. This is what I'm gonna do in the next 5 years. He has this whole plan, and he was like, and it's always been my plan. He's like, and that's where my life was going. He was like, but then when I met you, all of a sudden you weren't part of that plan. And it was the same for me. Even when I was with my ex, I was like, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to move here, and I'm going to go there, and you can come with me if you want.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm doing. This is my life.
Yeah.
And then, but it was the same when I met my boyfriend now. I was like, I incorporated.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to really change anything. Small changes. Yeah. Location, things like that. Yeah. But like, it made sense.
Yeah.
But I also was so quick to like, how is this going to work with my plans? How are his plans and my plans going to go together with everybody else? I was like, hey, these are my plans.
Yeah.
You can
do as you see fit.
Yeah, you can join if you want, but this is where I will be, and you can follow.
Damn, you know what? You know what? When you say that, that's how it's with all my exes.
Yeah,
this is where I'm headed. If you coming on, get on the boat.
Yep.
Like get in the car.
And then one day, you will be like,
all right,
no. Go? I'm gonna scoot over.
Yeah.
Do you want to steer for a minute?
Yeah. Damn. You want? Damn. Give her the aux cord.
And no, but the person that you're gonna be with shouldn't change it. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't be that vastly different either.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that you're taking a hard right turn somewhere else. You know?
Damn, I hate when you're talking like this. You know why? Because like, that's off air stuff.
But I remember, like when he said that, I was like, I was like, wow, I'm the same way. Like I've never incorporated anybody into my plan. I just had my plan. It was my plan.
I like that. I guess that's when you really know. Mm-hmm. Maybe, yeah. I mean, because I always look at it as there's always people with separate lives, basically.
Mm-hmm. And I've always said, I think as a couple, you have to have your life, he has to have his life, and then you have to have your life together. And I stand by that. Mm-hmm. But I think as I've gotten older and I'm in a different relationship and things have changed, is I realize that those lives, they're not as different as I thought they needed to be.
Yeah.
I think you need to have your own things. Like you like hiking and I like drinking wine. You know what I mean? And like we don't have to do them together. That's okay.
All the time. But we have to still share.
You have to share enough, and you have to respect what the other person likes, and you do have to be willing to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, my boyfriend, he's a runner. He runs. He loves to run.
Yeah.
I like to run.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna wake up and run.
You're not going for 10.
Not going for 12. I like a challenge.
Oh, he's going for 12?
Oh my God, he's insane.
Oh, yeah.
He's insane. We don't even need to talk about his crazy
But that's his thing.
But that's his thing. He loves to run, but he doesn't expect me to get up and run with him.
Yeah. But that's it. That's his like.
Yeah, I love Pilates.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to go to Pilates. No. He sucked it up and went.
Yeah, 100%.
He did it.
Yeah,
but he doesn't go with me every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I think as I've gotten older, I've realized what those two different lives mean, and it doesn't mean that we have two separate lives. It just means that you should never lose your identity in somebody.
Right,
is all that means. And it's and then you find that person and it just works. I don't know.
No, damn, that was good. All right, we're gonna leave it on that.
All right.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for listening. Whether you're listening to it on Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or you downloaded that Men Don't Know podcast app, I can't thank y'all enough. Merch store is open as always, but hit me up on Instagram at Men Don't Know, Twitter at Men Don't Know 1. Shoot me an email, Chris at mendontknow.com, or hop on the mendontknow.com website and shoot me a message.
How many pictures are on Yelp? You pull up all these pictures and you're like, oh, that's the dessert you're eating? All right, Michelle. That's the candle? Okay, that's the same candle. I know where that.
45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes to an hour? Wait, can you run that long? No offense.
That's how I got married, dog. You know, my first date, bro.
Was that what you did?
Yeah, my first date with her.
And look at.
I think a guy's more comfortable being alone than a girl, but I mean, that's a whole nother
You think so?